Video editing is such a desired skill, especially with YouTube and Instagram and all these platforms being so video heavy, but a lot of people struggle getting into video editing because the organization factor, the overwhelming of the software and everything. So today I want to do a tutorial on my entire video editing process, from taking the footage and uploading it to your computer all the way to actually finalizing and exporting the video. So let's jump right into my computer behind me. So you filmed your video, perfect. The next step obviously is putting the footage on your computer. Super simple. I have this USB SD card reader that I just literally put in the back of my computer, and then I upload the footage. So here I have my SD card being dropped off. A DCIM folder is pretty standard for a lot of different cameras, and I already know which folder my footage is in from this shoot. I'm just gonna enter that folder, and here's all my clips. They're just named by the camera. And when you're working with a video that has a lot of different clips, what I like to do is, before we even open Adobe Premiere, we are actually going to organize our clips in advance. So let's first transfer this over to my hard drive, because first off, I want to back it up, and second off, I don't want to be working off of my SD card. A couple barriers will be there. First off, if you take your SD card out, then your video won't load in Premiere. Also, the speed won't be as fast since it's through a USB port rather than a SATA port, which is on the hard drive. So you got a couple advantages by moving this footage over to your hard drive. So we're gonna do that right now. Simply highlight it all, copy it, and then pick a location. I'm gonna make a folder on my desktop here. Just call it footage. Cool. And we will paste, and it will transfer over. So we just brought the footage in, put it on our desktop or in the folder, and now we're going to go through and organize the footage before we even drop it into Premiere. So we're gonna go ahead and watch the footage using whatever player is on your computer. I have VLC player. It's a free open source player you can download for free. Like I said, it works with like every file type, so I like to use it. This way I can scrub through my footage and see, okay, so he's actually acting in here. This isn't like a throwaway clip. So I can go over and I'll name the footage in here. So I'll call it main acting. So we'll start with that, main acting. And we're literally gonna go through every single one in our VLC player. I know, like over here, kind of, I don't know if this is a B-roll or a throwaway. Like this is just a throwaway footage. There's nothing really there. It's just one of those clips that happened. And you know, I can just go and delete that because I don't need that and I don't want to be dealing with that. So I'm just going to go through really quick and just make sure I got everything that I need here. This one also looks like a throwaway. There's a lot of throwaway clips in here. It's just good we just get them all out of the way, you know? Okay, so I've gone through every piece of footage. I've renamed the ones that are actually footage, and then I've deleted all the ones that weren't. Now, in the case where we're like, oh man, actually when I was skimming through and you know I needed that footage, everything's still on our SD card, so deleting it on our hard drive is fine. So now we can actually start going into Adobe Premiere. So let's open up Adobe Premiere. So Premiere is open. We're just going to create a new project, and we're going to put it in the exact same folder that we created on our desktop of footage. We're going to call it test video. So I picked the assembly console right here because it's a pretty good layout for throwing my clips together. I have my preview window here, my timeline here, and then I'll have my clips over in here. And this is just for our preliminary kind of chopping and organizing everything. So we're gonna go over to this little arrow and we're gonna go to media browser. And this kind of gives us a window into like our folders on our computer. So I just went into local C, and then I'm gonna go to my desktop right here and click on the footage folder. And when you see the footage folder, this is actually the clips that we were just working with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna highlight all of them all at once. Just first click and then shift click the last one, drag them onto our timeline here, and it's going to create a new sequence. You can see all the footage is actually on our timeline. Audio is here, video is here. And now I want to go through the footage and I want to just literally get the parts that I want to use. I'm not going to worry about assembly yet. I just want to actually extract the parts of the clips that are usable and then get rid of all the garbage. So it's really just the first level of organization is getting rid of the garbage from the main clips. The second level of organization is getting rid of the garbage within the clips. And if you want to have a really good professional video and get it done quick, if you're doing a lot of different videos, organization is absolutely key. So let's jump into our B-roll here. And I really like how he kind of moves his hands, the dynamics of his typing right here. So you know what, I'm just going to hit C on my keyboard and I can see that this black line is coming up. So that means my snap is on. I can turn snap on and off by pressing S on my keyboard, and there it's not snapping anymore. So I have more freedom with where I cut. But by pressing C, this little razor comes up and I can just click on where I want to cut. And then I'll press V to get my cursor back. I'm going to keep this video simple. So I'm going to delete all the other B-roll. Let's just say it sucks and it's all garbage there. Now I have this one little clip of B-roll, nice typing. Really the sequence of keys here is C for razor, and then we're going to cut by clicking, press V for my pointer again, and then we're going to get rid of this footage here. I can actually highlight if I want to get rid of multiple points, hit delete on my keyboard. And you can really see exactly what I'm doing here. I am just extracting the best points. And I mean, in any other video, there's going to be, you know, anywhere from 10 to even 100 of these pieces. But now that I have them all, I'm just going to kind of group them together over here. And now I can zoom in on this piece of the timeline and see exactly what I am working with. So let's just make kind of a little sequence here. So let's see. So he's typing, moves to his mouse here. Now he's on the computer, gets kind of upset. Now let's jump over to a headshot. He's kind of upset there. I'm going to chop that up, get rid of that clip there. Just hit C for slice, V for pointer. And I'm just creating an assembly, and it's very important. You can see that black line is popping up. It's snapping, and I want that snap to be on. Again, if your snap is off, it's just S. And then I think it's going to end with him being on the phone because he's kind of got a vent out to one of his buddies. So we have a little video sequence here. So at this point, I'm going to save. Simple Control S works really well. And my next thing is I want to color balance this footage before I even go into After Effects and do anything in After Effects, a title or anything like that. So I'm going to open, right click the color tab here. And I'm just going to reset to saved layout. I was playing with some scopes and stuff, but we're not going to get into that. And since this is all in the same environment, I'm just going to get one clip first. This is a pretty good clip that I'm working with. And I just want to change the color temperature to make it a little more white. So I'm just going to kind of play with it, gauge it by eye, and just try to make this white. Now we have gold to blue and purple to green, just to white balance it. We'll give it a little more exposure, kind of make it a little brighter, a little more contrast. And we won't do much more than that for the basic correction. But then let's jump into the creative panel, and we're going to cycle through here at our LUTs. And a LUT is like a preset filter that we can put on top of our footage once it's white balanced. So I'm going to click through until I see one that I like. Okay, that one looks pretty good. It's clean, but it's very dramatic. I'm just going to click on the LUT now, and it will automatically apply itself there. I'm going to turn down the intensity because I feel like it's a little intense. And that looks great. I can see the difference here. So this is before, and then this is after. Looks a lot more professional, I would say. And our next step is just applying that color to everything else if our footage is shot in the same place. So that's very simple. We're just going to right click the footage here, copy, and that will copy every single parameter on the footage, including our color. So we can now click on all the footage and we'll hit shift and we'll pick all the footage that we want, right click, paste attributes, and we will only have the effects lumetri color clicked here. We don't want motion, opacity, timer mapping, anything like that. And we don't want to double up on the footage that we copied from, because it will actually double the color and it will just be super dramatic, and we don't want that. So apply that. Now our entire video has this color, looks pretty good so far. So our last step here is to create a title using After Effects and Premiere, and the dynamic link that the two programs have together. This is really the benefit of using Adobe Premiere, because you get to integrate After Effects, and if you know After Effects, you know how powerful it is. So say we wanted to have over these two clips some titles or some animations or anything like that. We're gonna highlight all the clips that we want to turn into an After Effects composition. We're gonna right click and replace with After Effects composition. As you can see, After Effects is opening on its own. If it's already open, it will initiate and add a composition to the project that you already have open and saved. If it's not open, you will be asked to create a new project right away. So here we go. It's asking me, hey, do you want to create a new project? What do you want to call it? So I'm going to jump over to my desktop footage, and we'll call it test video comp. Be straightforward. And really the goal here is to create some text. So I'm going to right click on my composition, go new, text, and I'm going to say social gravity presents. Put that right here. Nothing crazy, just something simple. I'll put it up here in the black. Looks cooler there. So I'll just slide it over. I'm not going to give it much character. If I want to cut anything here, it's a little different than Premiere. I'm going to go Control Shift D. We'll split it, and then I'll hit delete to delete the top one. We have social gravity presents, and then let's duplicate that text, slide it over a bit. All we have to do now that After Effects is open is we just hit Control S, and that saves the After Effects composition. And what you'll notice here now is that this clip just turned into this test linked comp, which is actually the composition we were just working with in After Effects. And you can see right on my timeline, without me actually exporting anything from After Effects, we have social gravity presents, and then we have a video editing tutorial, and that's the dynamic link. It makes it super easy to work within Premiere and After Effects, which is a massive benefit if you're trying to have a little more spice to your videos. The last thing we're going to do before we export is, let's just say we watch it over, everything looks really good. We're just going to zoom in and set our in and out points. So hit S to line everything up. We're going to mark our in point at the very start of the video and mark our out point at the very end of the video. And this is telling Premiere that this is the only video region that we want to actually export. So now that we have that, everything looks really good. Audio sounds good. We have our comps in order. We can go to File, Export as Media. And our format, we're going to pick H.264. This is a highly compressed format with the best quality basically available. H.264 is a standard. It's been a standard for like 5 or 6, 7 years now. And it just creates a very, very small file size, renders extremely quick, and is perfect quality, especially for YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. So H.264 is going to be our format. We'll go to preset, and I personally find a lot of value in the Facebook 1080p. This basically gives us all the settings that we would use on Facebook for ads or anything like that. The only thing that I'm going to change is the frame rate. I don't want my frame rate to be 60 frames per second. I shot the footage at 60 frames, but I want it to be 24 frames per second because that's the film standard. And then I'm going to go to output name, and I'm going to find my footage here. And we're just going to call it test video. And this is the key. Always at the end of your titles, do V1 if it's the first version, V2 if it's the second version, V3, V4, until it's completely done. I would never name a video like test video final or like test video or like something dumb that doesn't even like have any relevance to the project at all. Be organized, especially with your naming, especially with your folders, everything like that, because it will come back and it will bite you so hard if you're not. Okay, so test video and then V1. Say you're working on a vlog, Toronto vlog, V1, V2, V3. So we'll save that. Output name, everything looks good here. Export audio and videos on. If you use this preset, it should be good. And I wouldn't mess with anything else here. And we're literally just going to hit export. And then Premiere will start exporting it. You don't have to export anything out of After Effects. It will do that for you. And I recommend using Premiere and After Effects if you're trying to make high quality videos on YouTube or Facebook or wherever else. I used to use Sony Vegas a lot in the past, and I still do for certain things, but Premiere and After Effects using the dynamic link or the Adobe Creative Cloud bridge, it is unreal for your workflow. And as long as you're organized, editing videos just becomes easier and easier and easier as you go along. So thank you so much for watching today. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, I would definitely recommend you do that. My name is Vic. I'm the founder of Social Gravity. And if you're looking for Facebook video ads or social media content, hit me up. Go to our website, socialgravity.co, and send me a message. I will do a free strategy session with you and your business and just kind of see where you're at before we even jump into talking about us working with you. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.